not open for tourists yet.
Other ones?
Yeah.
No, they don't need, just like even just like a trail that are on
Yeah.
them, or you don't even have a good access. Yeah, you don't know, nobody really go there except when it's gonna be pretty much
Right.
declared and they do more like the opening of it. Yes. But for now we don't even go and visit them.
How come y'all have so much flooding though?
So according to the recently, like the news last night, we're having like a tide that is up.
Oh, high tide. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So apart from the rainy days that we're experiencing,
Yeah.
we've been having that flood of water that are coming from the mountain flowing to the east. So it brings along that flood. But for now, off and on. But sometimes, or time to time, we will be having a lot of rain. And so that lot of rain can cause floods along the very low lying area.
Yeah.
Along the rivers, because we have a lot of rivers. But most of the rivers, they're flowing into the big ones. And the big one's going to empty itself to the east.
East, yeah.
Which is always to the Caribbean Sea. Yeah. So for now, for most of our Belizean people, we know for sure we call it the rainy season. And we experience the dry time, which is more like the very time that we enjoy.
Yeah.
But think about it, 6 months of good weather, 6 months we're a bit off and on with this rain. But if you think about going into the savannah area, so along the coast where the mangroves are, you're going to leave that, you're going more into the savannah. And after the savannah area, it's going to be more into the broadleaf. So it's going to change eventually up to where the temples are. So all the changes, it's going to happen. So for the many people that live here, they still can depend on the things that they can plant and grow and wait for it to bear and able to take it to the market for sale. So that is what's been happening for so long. And the practice of planting your own food to eat, which is the proper way or the richest way, I would say. But it takes a lot of work. Yeah. So these people, I'm going to point out some of the things that they like to do. Like, for example, I know for sure coming up shortly, lots of people love to have a blackberry in their yard. Blackberry tree, huge tree. And more than that, some people love cashew. Between those coconuts, those are cashew trees.
Yeah.
See them?
Yeah.
Cashew. Coconuts, cashew, mango, blackberry in your yard, right? And even like some that I have visited their home, they got papaya, they got a soursop tree. Maybe not a lot, but each you got a mix kind of fruit in your yard, so you can have whenever it's time that they bear it. So right about now, I'm noticing like in the area where I am, there's blackberry already bearing. They're falling, they're ripe. So it's just a matter of collecting them. Blackberries, you know that huge tree that have those small little black little fruit, we collect them and we make juice out of it. We squeeze them, or we ferment that juice and make a nice blackberry wine with it. Almost 3 hours to get to that protected area.
Is the ruins regulated by the government?
Yeah, most of these sites, yes, it's the government, and they but it's called the niche, right? But it's still part of the government. It's called National Institute of Culture and History.
Yeah.
They are the ones responsible for taking care of this area. I'm gonna
That
just park.
building over there.
Alright guys, so we reached the immigrants. But yeah.
So pretty much we got a lot of things to share with you guys about relationships around me. Right, so first, the tree right next to you, if you notice it, that's the national tree for Belize.
This one right here.
Yeah, that's the mahogany tree.
Okay.
Mahogany is actually the one and only tree that we call where there was a demand for it back in the days, right? So mahogany was once being exported out of Belize. So that's an expensive piece of wood that you can get.
Yeah, no, okay.
A table chair,
Okay.
some type of furniture, it's going to be very expensive. We call it the red gold because it's a beautiful piece of art whenever you get one.
Yeah.
It's long lasting, but it takes a very long time to fully get
Grow,
to that
yeah.
really big. For example, see that tree there? That's the same one, right? The first one and the second one. Mahogany. So there are 5 symbols that we like to share with you. Mahogany, the national tree, the Q-bill toucan, our national bird, the black orchid as the national flower, national animal, the tapir, and our national flag. 5 of them. Each of them are very important for Belize, so we call it our 5 symbols.
5 symbols.
And so now we're gonna go share with you what it's like about we're gonna talk about Altun, right? So we're gonna take a good info on that one, and then from there we go. Actual temple. So for now, museum.
You're lucky you don't have as much. Well, I don't see as much tourists, but like in other countries like Mexico, for
Oh
example.
God.
It would have been packed.
Yeah.
Right.
It would have been
I guess because of the time I did it.
So,
Yeah.
alright, so it's also important to know that there are cruise ship times and days.
Yeah. That was said with have people.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Okay, so it's be packed then.
So today, yeah, you can get a numbers, but not overpacked. So there's going to be a rush in the morning and evening. It's okay. So the first one, the highlight of the day, is going to be the Sun God Temple that we're going to be climbing up to the very top. This is going to be the highlight of the day. So for this site, for this temple, we're able to go all the way around. We're going to climb until we get to the very top. And this is the same temple makes this city very famous because of the findings that was actually into this burial area where they have found human remain. And that human remain, there was a lot of jade inside of it, and then the human bones and all the valuable pieces like the necklace, the anklets.
Okay.
But the very piece is the large piece of object that was right next to that person, which is the jade head, which we get to see a replica on the outside of it. So that top part is the tomb.
Okay.
And in that tomb was the human remain. And Altun is actually makes this city very unique as well, is because of the 6th article of trade, and it starts with this one right here, char, like a special type of rock that they made weapons, they made structure around it, and the Plaza B consists of 6, and then the high temple. That's 2 plazas, Plaza A, Plaza B, and this is the high temple. We call it the Sun God Temple. Other ones will be more like the residential, it's what separates Plaza A and B. And so there's an observatory, there's a residential, like the king has a family, and the family will live around these areas. They don't go too far, but they live in these areas. Where we started from the city all the way to this side, there is a route that takes you all the way to Altun. So if you look at this area where I'm going to point out that there is Altun, the home of Belize, we're in the center of the rest of the map.
only this red piece here from around here.
Correct. Belize. The map goes here, the Caribbean Sea, Belize City, Altun, and the northern Belize up to Mexico, right? So this is where we make that turn and back again. So you continue to go up here, it's all Mexico. Northern Mexico, they were doing a lot as well. They're doing honey, they're doing cacao, ceramic, cotton, see more and more, and even the obsidian. But Belize was able to do this based on salt, pelts, cacao, and even the chart and the particle cotton. That was what Belize was able to do.
This part here and also Mexico.
Mexico. And then Guatemala gets to be right around here.
Yeah.
Right? So near that would be Guatemala. So Guatemala is more green. You will know Guatemala. There's a lot more jade because of the volcanic area. And El Salvador, you're thinking about all the sea nearby, you're going to get the basalt. Honduras, similar, you're going to get more cacao. Cacao, right? So it's 5 countries that are involved that have
Cacao is what? Not cocoa beans?
cacao. Yeah, it's cacao. Similar to the one we make chocolate with.
Yeah.
Cocoa.
We say cocoa.
Cocoa, yeah.
We say cacao.
Cacao, yeah.
And these are what makes the city very unique, of the same type of material that they were using to make all of these symbols. And if you look at it very good, it even looks like it's just like a piece of weapon. But other than that, there are multiple of different ones that you can say. Like for example, this one. That reminds me of the ball game that they play, the ball game. To get the ball through this loop, right? If you go to the other bigger cities, there's a big ball court that have that big loop that on the side which they play a ball game. Right. So for us to, and I could imagine back in those days, right, to be moving from point A to point B, there got to be a vessel, a vehicle, a boat. And this is just a perfect example of what they were using. It's a huge tree, we call it dugouts, right? Dugouts, canoe, right? And they were using that to move all the way through.
This seems as if it's so heavy, like it floats.
Yeah, it will flow. Yeah. And so there's where we started from the city all the way to this side. There is a route that takes you all the way to Altun. So if you look at this area where I'm going to point out that there is Altun, the whole map of Belize, we're in the center of the rest of
So
the
that is
map.
only this red piece here from around.
Correct. Belize, the map goes here, the Caribbean Sea, Belize City, Altun. And the northern Belize up to Mexico, right? So this is where we make that turn and back again. So you continue to go up here, it's all Mexico. Northern Mexico, they were doing a lot as well. They're doing honey, they're doing cacao, ceramic, cotton, see more and more, and even the obsidian. But Belize was able to do this based on salt, pelts, cacao, and even the chart and the particle cotton. That was what Belize was able to do.
This part here and also Mexico.
Mexico. And then Guatemala gets to be right around here.
Yeah.
Right? So near that would be Guatemala. So Guatemala is more green. You will know Guatemala. There's a lot more jade because of the volcanic area. And El Salvador, you're thinking about all the sea nearby, you're going to get the basalt. Honduras, similar, you're going to get more cacao. Cacao, right? So it's 5 countries that are involved that have
Cacao is what? Not cocoa beans?
cacao. Yeah, it's cacao. Similar to the one we make chocolate with.
Cocoa.
We say cocoa.
Cocoa, yeah.
We say cacao.
Cacao, yeah.
And these are what makes the city very unique, of the same type of material that they were using to make all of these symbols. And if you look at it very good, it even looks like it's just like a piece of weapon. But other than that, there are multiple of different ones that you can say. Like for example, this one. That reminds me of the ball game that they play, the ball game. To get the ball through this loop, right? If you go to the other bigger cities, there's a big ball court that have that big loop that on the side which they play a ball game. Right. So for us to, and I could imagine back in those days, right, to be moving from point A to point B, there got to be a vessel, a vehicle, a boat. And this is just a perfect example of what they were using. It's a huge tree, we call it dugouts, right? Dugouts, canoe, right? And they were using that to move all the way through.
This seems as if it's so heavy, like it floats.
Yeah. It will flow. Yeah. And so there's a involved. In the mines, even up to this time, these ladies get themselves involved in the agriculture side. So the men go to the farm a lot, so as the women help.
Yeah.
But she is the one that in charge of making sure that the foods are available for the men. So what she's doing, if you look around, there's a whole amount of firewood on her back. She's taking it owner, right? So you should not keep one, which is pretty much illegal if you have artifacts like these. Right? So, well, some
So y'all
people-
don't sell jade?
No, we don't sell jade.
Oh.
No, we don't. But over here, it says that over 800 jade items. And out of that, there are 50 of those that are actually being carved here. And that also gives us a signal that this city, they're very good artisans, right?
Yeah.
That means they're very creative, very smart people. And on the actual structure today, we're able to show you that there are actual carving that is being done on the actual structures that we're going to climb to. So you're going to observe that there is this face like that have a flat head, pointed nose, upturned mouth, the ear, right? That's the Kilich, the sun god.
Okay.
We consider this is a very supreme god of the upper world,
Okay.
right? Kilich means sun god.
Sound good.
And that's one of the highest gods up there. So today you will learn that there has to be a social structure in order this city to run smoothly. Just like any other city, right? You have
Yeah,
to
have-
necklace, if you notice it's all green, that means it's jade. And the anklet, green, it's jade again.
So that means that was the king.
He was the king that was actually buried
Yeah.
on the actual structure that we're going to climb today. So he's important because you don't find that inside temples you have burials. So this is one of the unique reasons why
Right,
we
yeah.
said he's very important. Because inside the temple there is a burial, which is unusual to say that all of them will be buried inside.
Yeah.
Right? So usually burials, if they are not important, you know what they will do? You'll be wrapped up, put next to a tree or an empty house.
Yeah.
But because he's so, like the very highest out of it all, he had everything that he had while it was with him.
Yeah.
And also he was covered with red pigments and hundreds of pieces of jade that was also scattered around. So every person that might have visited that burial at that funeral at that time, they tossed it a piece of.
Okay, me there.
So I think you probably see this map before, but to give you a rundown of where exactly we are. We started in Belize City. We call them Mayan, as a little
Hills.
raised hill,
Yeah.
and on top would be structures that would be built. In the event it rains, you know when it rains, water settles everywhere. And this is a perfect way of saying, I am dry, I'm going to go up, raise it up high, and I can build up.
Yeah.
Alright, so these are all mounds. There's hundreds of these mounds surround this entire city. But today we're going to see the center part, just like if we say going to the downtown area where all the business are,
Yeah.
that's where we're going. But anything that is surrounding this area would be mostly mound everywhere. It is a 5 square miles. So what we're going to see today is only the downtown part
Part
where
there.
the bigger structures.
Okay.
Like for example, you have the mayor's office, the
Yeah.
Supreme Court,
Yeah.
the schools, and similar, right? But it's all about what the business was. Is be able to trade with other cities. So when they come to the city, you're thinking about the jade, you're thinking about charts, you're thinking about cacao, thinking about pelts, you're thinking about feathers, right? It's 6 of those that they were able to barter. So it's all about business, right? And surrounding this area also there's nice tropical fruits there, buddy.
Yeah, avocado. Yeah.
Like everybody loves the avocado. And then there's mamey we call it.
Mommy apple.
Mommy apple.
Apple?
Right? Up on the tree there is some brown fruit.
Look at that one. Look at that one.
So usually when they fall down, that's meaning it's pretty ready. And when you cut it open, it's gonna be a red seed inside, a red type of fruity thing in it. That's what you're gonna scoop out and you eat. But the seed you're gonna remove. You can plant that. It's gonna be a future mommy apple tree. And so for this city to grow and to have a lot of people coming to visit, there got to be a work. And the work goes by the government of Belize, the USA. All these grasses will be growing. So every time there's got to be a guy taking care of this.
Yeah, cutting the grass. Yeah.
And with the rain, right? That's always be the key.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to the actual physical part of our tour, it's all about you doing what you like. If you like to climb, if you just like to listen, if it's just the educational, the info, that's okay. But if you really want to climb,
Mm-hmm.
recommending the ones that are, I wouldn't say it's too hard to do or it's safer to do. I would point out that to you guys, okay?
Yeah, we want to climb, man.
Whenever you say I want to climb,
Yeah,
let me know, right?
we want to climb.
You want to climb?
Find this one here.
But we can always save the big ones to the very last.
Yes.
But because you're here and it's all about you guys today, we can start on that one,
Yeah.
Okay.
right? Maybe we do that one depending how you feel. But the very tall one,
Yeah.
that's going to be the last. That's going to be the highlight of the day.
Right.
But this one is the Green Tomb.
The green too.
This is the first plaza that we're entering. Plaza 1. Remember, there is Plaza 1 and there is Plaza 2. And on this plaza, there are actually 6 temples. Like the one, the seventh one is right behind me.
Mhm.
And there's one over here, one over there, there. So it's 4 temples. So every time they have a plaza, there got to be 4 big structures properly aligned. Right? Like the north, south, east, and west.
Yes. Surrounded.
Similar. That's how they would do it, and they would do it precise. And the reason behind that,
Like
so the restoration that happened, if you look at it,
the
the
white
stairs
pieces
that
on
we're
top.
seeing is smoothly being plastered, and that's how you gotta keep up with these
Yeah,
the
so
elements around the entire
Yeah, because of
area,
the
rain,
road.
the acid,
Yeah.
the people, everything it eventually corrode. But if
Yeah.
you tend to work or you paint or you're making sure it's not nothing is growing or nothing is breaking, put them together, it's gonna look like that. So what happened
we
during
have to
those
finish the
periods,
video.
there's a lot of these stones that are being put back into place, but it's not as, I would say, as pretty as the ones alongside on the lower flat. You can tell, you can see the different type of stones that they put afterwards. That is during the remodeling of this entire area.
Mm-hmm.
You wanna do it in front of this one?
Yeah.
A bit, not
Guys are
over,
burning
but
up.
more like a later date.
Yeah. Oh, this is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Plaza B. The high temple, or the temple of the sun god, is what facing up.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the high temples is always towards the east.
Yeah.
So the east, the sunrise comes from that angle. The sun goes back and is heading towards the west. If you look, that's the position that they always gonna build high temple, east to west. That is important because of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So timing is important, so they can follow that. And having areas like here, an observatory room is another important building. Residential, temples, those are residential. Why we say residential, if you look at it, there is a door in front, there is a door to the back. Believing to be like the room where the family of the elite.
We're going to climb the tallest temple here, Ola. Let me see how it's go. I'm dripping with sweat at this moment.
Yes.
Yeah. Like what dehydrators for the dehydration.
And it's easy, right? Because you're in a country, you're sweating, and if you're not noticing that and you forgot to drink, boom, like,
Thank God I never.
Are you guys ready?
I never fell down from dehydration.
No, neither me.
Okay.
So,
You're a solid Caribbean woman.
Yeah.
Correct? So let's do it. You go up, take your time, watch the step.
Alright, Tole, we start eating. We have Jamie in the front doing that thing. Alright guys, we're to the top. Still alive, but we made it. Take in Jamie. You okay there, girl? Yeah. Guys, taking the views. Okay. Alright guys, so we are in Altun, which is in Belize, the Mayan ruins, one of them. You can see one in the background there. We made it to the top of the highest ruin, which is the sun goddess or sun god, Kinicha something. Kinichaha.
It's like Chinese.
Right? Kinichaha, right? So the climb, it do it us. But it was good. It was good. It wasn't too bad. It just, I think we need to come with close to shoes, sneakers for this kind of thing, which is true. Yeah. So taking the views, taking the views, taking the views, taking the views.
Hence the reason some of these end up crumbling during whatever natural disaster. Or even like, but more likely. Nice. It's gonna do any cave system. You gotta think about 9 layers that would take you to the underworld, and these people will be sacrificed. And the angle and a better song that it will give me. Why I said that, if you need to follow the stairs, and this, you have to live on this side.
Okay.
Right?